Another great day. Welcome to iFU.Podcast. I'm Austin, your host, with my fellow co-hosts,
Sarah
and Trent.
Pass off their dating life. You can make it off of wieners. And she's just laughing.
Some people probably pay a lot of money for that.
Yeah, some people would love. They would probably. You can make a whole segment of "Rate My Dick," and you can have people send in pictures, and you can rate their dick.
She would get thousands of replies.
Yeah. Millions. I think millions. It would just become like a thing. It would send me a picture of your wiener.
Oh my goodness. Then she could start another page like Feet Finder, only it'd be only be Wiener Finder.
Like my uncle told me about a Reddit page called Rate My Poop.
Oh.
Have you heard about that?
No.
People would post pictures of their poop in the toilet and people would rate it. But this was years ago. Years ago. My uncle was telling me about that. What a nice conversation. That should have been recorded.
It was. Well,
I just looked.
Part of it was.
Oh, cool. We can save that for later.
When you said "rate my dick," that's what it said.
Which is fine because it left out the person we were talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Send in pictures. Let me rate your dick. Not me, though. I have a friend.
Yeah. I have a friend
that likes to talk about wieners.
Oh, jeez. I'm just going to say that's one podcast I wouldn't listen to.
Yeah, I don't have any interest.
I feel like that'd be a very selective crowd.
Other than if it were like a comedy podcast.
Yeah.
I feel like she's looking for more like an intellectual discussion about it.
I don't think so.
I think it's partly satire, partly honest. Because she goofs around a lot.
She's funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, this the nope. Rest.
Were you trying to be snoring?
I could no. See, that doesn't make any sense because we just did an intro. Well, the preset intro.
True.
That's in there.
You could insert a snore sound at the beginning.
Yeah. Just move it around.
Yeah. Although I can't stand snoring.
It's not like I'm going to like snore the.
Oh, I know that. I'm just saying, like.
I really like Turtle. And he opens all of his shows up with him slurping his coffee, and I hate it.
Yeah. Does it get under your skin?
It does. It bothers the hell out of me. I've made several comments on his YouTube channel saying, this is stupid. Stop doing this. They've never...
It's his thing.
They've never responded to it. It's funny that sometimes he burns himself, and I think it's hilarious. That's what you get.
That's what you get for being a nasty slurping fuck.
But they make all their money through what's called Mug Club, and you buy the coffee mug. And
Yeah. Yeah. That's like I told you.
Turtle.
And his wife, when his wife was doing her radiation or whatever, she got into like drawing and painting again. And she drew a picture of him when he had shaved his beard off because people were making fun of him and shit. She's legit selling that picture for like $40 and people are buying $40 replicas of this picture. And it's a goofy ass picture.
I guess that'd be worth it, $40.
Yeah.
If you're really a big fan of the show.
Yeah.
On your wall.
Yeah. Or like you just like artwork like that. Like that's like not professional at all. It's just someone's random artwork and you just put it everywhere. That would be interesting to have a wall just of weird ass artwork
If
to
I
stare
wanted
at.
weird artwork, I'll just let my kids do it.
Yeah.
You would have accepted the cardboard thing that I left for you on your porch.
Okay, that wasn't weird. That was just flat out creepy.
What did I miss?
I drew the caricature of Austin. And
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
I took it from work and like carried it all the way home.
He put it on my porch.
Parked it at his house, dropped it off on the porch real quick. I was hoping his wife would find it first, but no, he found it and immediately threw it away.
Yeah, I immediately put it in the recycling.
She'd be like, honey, we have a serial artist dropping things on our porch.
It was creepy.
Did you hear about the serial killer losing
Turtle? Yes, I did.
Oh, see, okay, he heard about it. You're the first one to be like, yeah, I heard about it.
Well, it's only because the individual we were talking about before had posted it on their Facebook, and that's how I saw it.
Gotcha. Yep. And then I heard that there were 3 people found dead
Turtle.
in their house, like a family.
Yeah.
I said, that shit's crazy. And I was talking
Turtle.
about it at fucking lunch.
Turtle.
About pepper spray. I said, I don't know what that's going to do if he's got a gun, but thanks for the pepper spray.
Yeah.
I said, how? She's like, oh, that's true. And
Turtle.
we'll get a taser. I said, that's still hand-to-hand combat. She's like, no, the one you shoot.
It's
Yeah. He's going to see that you have a taser and go, bop, you're done.
Yeah.
Especially if he's coming into the house
Yeah.
with that purpose that
Yeah.
you're not expecting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too late.
Yeah. Now, do you have a gun? Yeah. Me too. Just in case.
I don't.
Safely put away.
And I always thought,
Turtle.
and I don't think she does. After talking to
Turtle.
her about like me getting my license and stuff, I don't think she does. And I thought she did, like locked up in a lockbox under the bed. Apparently not. I said, this whole time,
It's like your
I
friend.
thought
Turtle.
gonna keep us safe.
Yeah. I don't want to like go big into like gun control or anything, but like safety reasons.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
One for your own home. Like
I don't know.
if you want to carry, that's your perspective, your view, whatever
Yeah.
you want to do.
It's
Yeah.
just so uncomfortable.
To carry, yeah.
You know what I want, honestly? Have you guys watched any Peaky Blinders yet?
No.
Okay, so it's like old timey, right? And they would have like the body holsters and
Yeah.
stuff. Well, in Peaky Blinders, a lot of them have the shoulder straps with the one that goes tucked in right here. I want one of those, but I also want to dress like they did in that show because I really like. I wish people would go back to like dressing like that on a casual basis.
What was it? The 50s?
No, this was like 1912, and I think the show ended around the 1930s.
They're
So it's like men in like
the coats
like
and stuff
yeah
and
yeah
everything.
they would have the pocket watch with the chain
Yeah.
thing and with the vest and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Society nowadays, we now
So
dress
lazy.
down.
So fucking
We
lazy.
dress down.
To the point where it's like you go to a black tie affair and you're like, oh my god, he looks so nice, and you like, or like you have to go rent a tux because you don't own anything like that.
Yeah.
I've got a suit in the other room.
Turtle.
He owns one too, and I didn't know she owned one.
I have a suit
have to-
as well, just for
I have a
occasions.
I have to rent one every time.
But I was going to be a minister, so yeah.
Yeah, you might have needed it for that.
Mine's from high school, and somehow I still fit. That was actually big on me then, but I wanted to get my wedding tux because it's like charcoal gray and
Yeah.
white sleeves, brown
Yeah.
shoes. It was nice.
Yeah, a lot of them in Peaky Blinders is like a gray or like the blue, like
Yeah.
the. It wasn't like a
Like a navy.
deep set blue. It's like a grayish blue. Yeah, I like those a lot.
Yeah. I was listening to Jordan,
Turtle.
and people asked him why he's always wearing a suit, or if he's not wearing his actual suit, he's wearing his tie and whatnot.
Sometimes he wears a goofy suit where it's blue
Oh,
and red.
yeah. But the idea is, he was saying that because he teaches in one of his lessons for men, like if you are going to be a man and if you're going to go anywhere or any place, you are going to want to impress them.
Yeah.
Impression is key to anything.
Especially being a public figure like that.
Yeah, especially in a physical, visible way
Right.
like that, like with something like that.
And like, I'm like, see, that would be cool, like to always like dress up, dress nice and stuff like that. But like for us, we wear a uniform at work. There's no point
Yeah.
in that for us. And by the time we're done with work, we're just like, I'm going to stay in comfy
Yeah.
clothes all day.
Yeah, that truly is one of my new goals, though, is I want to get like nice clothes like that and dress like that on a fairly usual basis. That's like legit my goal.
Yeah.
Get my body right and get me some nice clothes where I can dress. Not exactly like that. Like I don't have to do it all the time, but like to have like a certain style for me.
I can start wearing my fedoras. What? Don't you give me that eye. I have several fedoras.
Those are the
They aren't quite designed like that, but they're just smaller and then,
Okay. Like mafia style?
Yeah, they're mafia style.
I mean, I wear those cowboy boots just for the comfort of it. So
Yeah,
if wearing the fedora makes you feel, good.
Cowboy boots are just not.
I am not a fan of cowboy boots either.
Yeah. I
make
understand if you are a cowboy, that's okay.
Right. That's how I feel too.
Or if like you're out in the country, like my grandpa wore them all the time. Number one, he grew out there like that. Number two, there's a lot of rattlesnakes out there, and that shit'll keep you from getting fucked up because you're out in the middle of nowhere, getting bit by a rattlesnake, and you got to go all the way in. You're losing at least toes. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's why he wore them.
I used to look at kids in high school and be like, "Why are you wearing those?" like I actually work on a farm, and I don't even wear these stupid things. I wore rubber boots when I was there too. So
yeah. A lot of people do now. Is like the rubber boots, but they're easy to wash off like that.
So much
the
easier.
mucks.
Yeah.
And when you get bit, their teeth just slide on the rubber.
Oh,
Nice. They just go.
So it still hurts, but it's not,
Like it's not
grip
something.
in.
Yeah, they can't grab it and hang on. When I got home today, the dogs were out downstairs, and I had come home to like 7 or 8 no, I won't, that's exaggerating, like 4 or 5 packages on the porch, and I'm like, what the hell? So I sent a video of it.
Turtle.
And so I pick up this giant box that her mom has sent, and then I pick up all these little packages, and it's like I'm having to use the packages to open the doors, and I go in, and there's Tasha on the couch, and I see Octavia at my feet, and I'm like, oh my God, because I've got all these packages in my hand, and when they're around humans and together, it does not work. So I immediately was like, oh shit. So then I'm just like calmly trying to sit the packages down, and I'm like, Octavia, come here. And when I called for Octavia, here comes Tasha running in too, and I'm like, oh my God, this is where they kill each other. This is where, just because simply I just was not prepared for this. But luckily I've got Octavia in the room, and Tasha trotted up the stairs after she had run by me, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But I almost died walking into the house in panic.
So it's just, they need it. They need that attention, and one of them's got to get it.
Yeah, and they're fighting for it. And it's like, I just got home.
Yeah.
Like, they've been alone.
Turtle.
How does this happen? I said, what do you mean? Tasha jumps the gate every time it rains. Every time. And thunderstorms I get, because she doesn't like thunder, neither does Octavia. So the top of the house is obviously going to be the loudest.
Right,
it rumbles more. So she jumps the gate to get downstairs because she feels trapped up there, and runs downstairs. If they're alone, they're like, literally, they are both unscathed. And God knows how long they've been together. Unscathed. But if we're in the house, it's a different story. Like, it's truly a fight for attention. So I panicked. It was bad. I said, the dogs were out together.
The worst part about the rubber boots is the hog would come up to you, and their nose is about, up here anyway. And they just get right up next to your shin and just snot, just fill your boot.
Down in here.
Horrible. That would just be the worst thing.
Nope.
And the only thing you do is just leave it. It's just like, you can't address it. You can't do anything. Just let it be there.
Finish the job.
Yeah.
Take
No.
your shoe off.
Call me too girly. I could not.
You're such a girl.
That sounds so... The thought of just leaving that in a boot, like, against my skin. I always wanted to learn how to take care of horses and train horses, though. But I can only pick so many hobbies and be able to dedicate the time it takes, you know what I mean, to do it.
That'd
But
be
even
so much
Sierra
better
wants...
than hogs, though.
Yeah.
Like, a couple horses would be fine.
Yeah.
But, 100 hogs,
No. Yeah, I'm not trying to have a hog farm. I'm not even trying to have one pig.
I feel like even 2 pigs would be worse than, 1 horse.
I feel like, truly, if you ever see me with pigs, then if someone in my life has disappeared... That is why I have pigs. And do not rat me out. Yeah.
Eat the bone.
Because I see no other good reason to have a pig for myself.
Nope.
But truly, I couldn't kill anybody anyways, even if I wanted to. But I'm just saying. You're like, Sarah's got pigs. Who'd she kill? That's literally your thought process.
Or it'd be like, there must have been an accident.
Yeah. No, I'd just be like, hey, Joey.
That's
Joey.
the business we should
I
be
need out of the
going
fucking
into.
country, bud.
That's the business we should be getting into.
Pigs?
Well, we just have pigs, but really...
It's body disposal?
It's body disposal, yeah.
Turtle.
Says you just use the compost pile at his house because he throws his goats in there and they're just gone after so long.
Only fucking...
Turtle.
My goodness.
He's like, I got tired of just digging holes. I just started putting them in the compost pile and the bacteria and stuff in there, it's gone.
Oh my goodness.
Except probably the bones. The bones will take a lot longer, but body-wise, it probably would break down really quick.
Yeah.
That better be far away from the house, though. That shit would smell.
He says it doesn't stink, like, I guess because he probably keeps putting fresh, like,
Compost on top.
Compost and stuff.
Yeah, what if... Heaven forbid doesn't happen soon.
Turtle.
Passes away, and then they, like, clear off that compost. There's gonna be so many bones,
Just
like,
bones
laying
everywhere.
there. Like, oh, it's a goat graveyard.
Or what
two
if
dogs and
the goats
100
retaliate and they put
Turtle.
in there?
Yeah.
if he don't start taking care of himself,
He
Yeah.
will be the end of himself if he doesn't. It's so hard though, because my grandpa struggled with his diabetes, and it is just being healthy with it is a struggle on its own, let alone the struggling any other way with it,
Right.
especially at their age.
That's why you make smart decisions early.
Yeah, well, he's still eating a lot of fast food and snacking on things he shouldn't be snacking on.
Yeah. When he brought in that fudge that one time, he's like, I can't have any of it, but my mom made it. I'm like, you definitely had some
Yeah,
fudge.
you definitely you ate
There's
so
no
much of
way
it. You
it's this good and you didn't eat any.
Yeah, he probably ate so much of it that he literally scared himself close to an attack, and he was like, "I've got to get rid of this."
Yeah.
Yep.
It's the only reason he brought it to work.
I ate some. I don't even really like fudge that much.
I didn't even get any.
good.
I just wanted a piece after lunch.
Turtle.
Yeah, I sat there and watched him eat piece after piece after piece after piece. Second quarter.
Like 2 or 3 times, like I think I needed stragglers. He's like, do you need your stragglers?
I actually thought the peanut butter was better than the chocolate,
I
personally.
didn't have the chocolate. I just had peanut butter.
I had 4 pieces in total, but I had 2 at first break, 2 at last break. So, and that was like enough. Like, that was a lot of richness. That was
Yeah, I forgot about it after lunch, and then it was late, fourth quarter. I was like, "Is there any fudge?"
Turtle.
He goes, "I don't think so." Yeah,
don't
probably
think
because
so.
you ate it all, you little fuck.
I don't like the texture or the sweetness, richness of chocolate fudge. Peanut butter fudge is fine because it's just mostly just like eating peanut butter, but
There's a place,
Turtle.
Phil, that makes fudge. Have you ever been there and gotten any of that? Oh, that shit's good. And there's also a fudge factory in
Turtle.
next to the aquarium. That
really?
fudge is really good too.
we just went there too, the aquarium.
The aquarium, yeah. There's a little fudge place, right? Like, you know, you have to walk up and then go to the
yeah.
back. Somewhere in that little strip there's a fudge place. It's really good.
I feel like I might have seen it.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm waiting to take
Turtle.
to the aquarium. I think I'll love it.
Yeah,
Just love. all
I like
fish
the
there.
aquarium. One of me.
Turtle.
His first official date was at the aquarium. She took me there.
I'd much rather go to the aquarium than like just like the zoo. Just
Especially
Turtle.
the zoo.
oh yeah,
Like,
Turtle.
just complicated. It's
Yeah.
annoying.
yeah, I went to
Turtle.
how many? It was before the
Turtle.
born. So we took.
Turtle.
And it was Christmas time. It's cold,
Yeah.
but all I
Turtle.
wanted to do, she didn't want to see any of the animals. She just wanted to ride on the carousel over and over and over and over again. I'm like, I'm freezing out here.
I'm freezing out here for you to give her a
I don't know
repetitive
what it is
carousel
with
ride.
little kids, but they have like, they don't care how cold or hot it is, as long as they're in play.
Yeah.
Like, they're just going.
They're tunnel visioned. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Turtle.
He'll be shirtless and it'll be freezing and he'll be like blue. I'm like, well, get in the house. Like,
Put it over.
There are balls out here.
Yeah.
Things to do.
I remember being a kid, and it's like, now as an adult, I think about filling up the pool with the hose, especially if they're like out in the country and it's like well water.
Yeah.
That shit is cold as shit.
Yeah.
And my dad filling up a pool, and it was like, you know, the one with the inflatable top, so it was like little enough I could just jump in, and going out there after he just filled it and getting in. The thought of that now as an adult makes my skin want to freeze off. But I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I can literally feel myself like shaking. And like, my dad came out and he was like, your lips are blue. And I'm like, this is so fun. Like, while I'm shaking.
We went to visit my brother in Kansas, and we were staying in a hotel.
Turtle.
It was cold. The water was cold, but she wanted to get in the pool anyway. So we got in the pool, and she's like, trying to swim. We're like, we're getting out. She's like, no.
Kids are so funny.
The other weekend it had warmed up a little bit, and
Turtle.
it was like, we need to get the pool out. Like, no. It's still like 50 degrees outside.
It's still winter.
And they've been bugging me to take them to the Y.
See, perfect. At first you were worried they were never going to use it with you. Now, perfect.
It is that? Oh, I've seen it, but like, is it actually fun for kids? The playground in there,
Playground's okay, I think, but it's
Yeah.
inside. No, I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
It's good for younger kids.
Yeah, older
like once
kids
they
wouldn't
hit
like
like
it.
close to like 10, 11, 12, they start getting bored of that shit real
Okay.
quick.
Because
Turtle.
was complaining. She's like, I want to go to the park. Well, it like, rained all day yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's slightly cold. I'm just like, well, you can't go to the park. Everything's wet. I'm like, well, the Y does have a little play area
Yeah.
inside. But obviously that's going to cost a lot of money for all four of us to go in. So we're just like, but she toughed it out.
Could just drive it.
Turtle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
but
go
see,
to the
we were coming from
Turtle.
already because we were heading towards a family get together on my wife's side, and then on the way there, she's like, well, we won't be there for another hour and 40 minutes. And then she told her mom that. She's like, well, by the time you get here, it's going to be over. Like, okay,
Yeah.
turn around, let's go back home. But
But at least they told you and you didn't show up and you're like, okay, cool. I drove all the way here for fucking nothing.
yeah, well.
You might as well save this as just hangout session.
Yeah. This would be a story
actually,
time.
While we were thinking, I was like, actually, this will be like the perfect one that I take all the parts that I've taken out
Yeah.
of just our
them in
previous
here
and just
somewhere.
tie them into here.
Yeah.
And I'll just like,
Just random fun conversation.
Yeah.
I'll be like, episode 1 bloopers, and then we'll do it, and then I'll be like, episode 2 bloopers, and then, you know,
Yeah. That would be cool.
I'll be like, blooper reel, or the hangout time, or something like that.
Yeah. We should also do an episode where we teach. You remember me telling me saying I wanted to have a podcast with my brother where we just taught each other about random shit. We could do that as some of our breakup episodes. Just find one topic that we can teach, each other about. Just random shit. History, animal fact. Doesn't even give a shit. One thing that you find interesting and you could teach us about it.
The weather rings.
What other rings? There you go. Kingdom Hearts.
That's going to have to be one whole episode in its own.
I could talk forever.
There's always like a certain subject that everybody has, and they're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
spend 2 whole hours just talking about.
Yeah, and I'm such like an information hoarder. I could probably tell you guys about new things almost every day because I just like scroll. Oh, that's interesting. Google. Like I do it all the time.
I didn't know. I was watching Mary Poppins with,
Turtle.
and you've both seen it, the original one, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
well, Admiral Boom, he's shooting at the chimney sweeps with his fireworks, right? And he's like, there's Hottentots. And I'm like, what the heck is a Hottentot? Like, I had never heard that phrase before. Apparently, it's a racial slur towards indigenous people.
And they say it in the movie? What?
I was like, what the? I'm like, I want to use that. And then I'm like,
You're
no,
like,
I don't.
no. What?
Hottentots. Yep.
Why? How? How did they even get to...
Spicy tater tots.
I don't.
Spicy tater tots.
I was like, why did they cut? Like, I understand, like, saying ridiculous names and stuff like that, but I felt like Hottentots was very derogatory toward them specifically.
I thought it was going to be like an item.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like a thing.
Yeah.
Not people. Hottentots. I want to know how they even came up with that.
I watch a couple accounts on TikTok that talk about old-timey words and stuff and where they originated from. And a lot of it's stuff like that they explain how they came about it. Last one I watched was, no, I forget now. Dang it.
Dang.
It's a good one, too. But it was about rich people getting rooms on either side of the ship because it would come into port on that side. They want to be on that side because people could see them. And then when they're leaving, they want to be on the other side.
Yeah.
So they had rooms on both sides.
Yeah.
Posh, that's what it was. The word posh. Mm-hmm. And it's just from joining the starboard or the port and starboard rooms or whatever. And that's how they got that name. So if you were posh, it's because you were wealthy and
Yeah.
You
fancy.
had the capability of doing that.
I was watching Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and the grandpa was like, P-O-S-H, posh. And I'm like, posh. He's so posh. So, Hottentot, spelled Hottentot, is basically a term that was historically used by Europeans to refer to the Koakaho, or the indigenous nomadic tribe in South Africa. But it was for, I guess, whatever racial slur that was used for them. So, yeah.
And it was in a movie. That's what blows my mind. You know what I mean? Like, I get
there's
it.
a reason why Disney now has to have that thing right before each movie. Like, we apologize if this had offended people. It was wrong then, it's wrong now. Okay.
Yeah, like a disclaimer.
Like, you already done made the mistake.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. White people are trash. We know. Just put that at the beginning. White people are trash.
it was a different time. I mean, they're still trash now, but it was a different time.
They haven't moved much, but...
Well, Mary Poppins came out in the 60s. And then... Yeah, and a lot of the other movies were probably 80s. Yeah. Something like that. I remember people were thinking that Dumbo, where the crows... You know, they're actual black singers. They're actually a group, but people are like, "That's so racist." They made them black crows in the movie. But, or the same with like, at the beginning they're like setting up the tent, or whatever, and there's like a lot of black, workers or figures in there. People are like, "Well, that's racist." I'm like, actually, that's just the times of what it was. Like, that was the work they were doing.
The animation style may have been a little racist, though.
Yeah, the animation style was definitely...
The way it was depicted might have been.
Yeah. Wow, a lot of topics today.
Yeah, I was talking to Tris because
Turtle
was telling me about Juice WRLD. Juice WRLD had a new album come out where they took a lot of his freestyles and then they've put like
Turtle
and stuff in these like songs. And he's talking about how like horrible it is. They should have just left it with this freestyle, right? Well, over the weekend when I was painting, I was listening to
Turtle.
I've heard the name.
Okay, have you seen Sister Act 2?
I haven't seen the second one, no.
Oh, it's the best one. Anyways, Whitberg's character played, she ends up being in charge of like choir. And then she's got a bunch of, kids in this choir, bunch of different races or whatever.
Turtle.
In it. She's pretty young in the movie, but she's done music with like
Turtle.
and stuff like that. She sings, she raps, she's got a lot of stuff. But she's like Tupac in a way where she's got a lot of very, very important messages in her music, and a lot of it is unity. But she also has a lot of like black empowerment. Like, we've got to stop living this way. We've got to like empower ourselves to be better and yada yada. Like, and this was way, she's probably 80s, early 90s. And then, so I was like, gosh, as I haven't listened to enough of her music, I didn't realize how wide her range was, because she does rap, she does jazz, she does R&B, she does reggae. So it's like every song, if you just listen to her playlist, is different.
Wow.
It's a different sound. You got different artists or everything. And then she's also a part of the Fugees.
Turtle.
So, she's a part of that whole group too. So her music array is like huge, and the message in it, and I was trying to explain
Turtle.
and then he's like, yeah, that's cool, dude. And I'm like, I'm speaking to a genre of people that just like, the mumble rap, or like, he was like, I will agree, like, they don't really talk about anything important. And I'm like, yeah, like, I gave up on the conversation at that point.
Sometimes he listens to some weird stuff.
He
does.
Yeah.
Well,
Because I literally first quarter was listening to her again, and I'm like, God, this stuff is like so good. Like, she talks about love and how she wants to be a healthy partner, and then black empowerment, and all this shit was way before now, and that's shit they're still talking about today. You know what I mean? Just
Turtle.
was talking about being better to women and being good to your daughters and raising your kids and having healthy, and this is. People were not fucking worried about before their time.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, what would have happened if she got to a stage to the level like
Turtle.
where they've outed her too?
Probably.
But from the best of my knowledge, she only went so far for so many years and then just stopped, and she's just been living her best life with the money she's created. Like, she had no interest in creating a whole life. You know what I mean? Like, she does not tour now. She has no interest in touring now that I'm aware of. But, yeah, I was trying to have a conversation about that with him, and he did have some level of interest, but not enough. And I'm
Not
like,
enough
okay,
to,
I'm just going to stop talking about it.
I think along those lines of like empowerment, though, like, that's something that for the years people have been trying to drive.
Yeah.
Even beyond music.
Yeah.
Whether it's like, women's rights or being able to vote, or just let alone having our own freedoms and stuff like that. But it's interesting now that I feel like there are more lazy individuals who'd rather be trapped
Yeah.
into whatever they're in, whatever box they feel comfortable in, than empower themselves to pursue their dreams and their goals.
Yeah. Outside of their comfortability.
And then pursue love, like loving. And that's just sad. And yet, in today's modern age, we have the most tools, the most, connections that we could possibly have, and yet,
yeah.
like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. It's like we have so much saturation into so many different things that it's just, to some people, not interesting to learn more. You know what I mean? Because it's too easy to access that information.
Right. And I think there's too many options,
Yeah.
Sometimes it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'd rather just not try.
You're like, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah. It's like a messy house. Like, you're like, well, I need to clean this up because people are coming over, but...
Yeah. I can just say, sorry, my house looks lived in.
Yeah. I got small children. That's my excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I walked into my kid's bedroom at their other house last night, and I was like, why does your room look like this?
Turtle.
we just don't have time to clean. I'm like, that's not it.
That ain't it.
That ain't it.
You go to school, you come home. No.
Your room in there, my house, it's fine. It's a little disorganized there at the moment, but it's clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're still trying to grind pickup time for our kids. And it's hard because
Turtle.
almost 2. He's like, yeah, we'll put all of the food into a little, the plate kitchen area and we'll put it in there. And then I'll take the basket and I'm like, seriously, dude?
I put it away. Now I gotta play with it.
Yeah, I put it away. I grabbed a different one. Now I gotta play with that one. Yeah.
I sometimes feel bad because all my kids want to do is just play. And yet, as the parent, you have to be the bad guy and be like, no, it's time to get ready for bed. Or, no, your mother's having an anxiety attack because this place is a mess.
Yeah.
And it's all your fault. So you need to pick it up.
Yeah. Even our 10-year-old, we struggle with that. And her
Turtle.
mom was over and she was like, is your room clean? And he goes, what? And she goes, is your room clean? And he goes, what do you mean? And he does this face. He's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, oh, I'm glad she's here dealing with him, right? Because we're working on the nursery. And she goes, you need to go in there and clean your room, because he had just rolled, and so he was just making a mess of everything because he was bored. Like, he had done all the rolling that we could allow him, because he was only allowed this small space in this area because he couldn't get close to the ceiling. He couldn't get close to the baseboards. He couldn't get close to any bookshelves. And there's 3 bookshelves in that room just built in.
Oh, geez.
It's so he had small spaces, and he was just so she's like, you need to go clean your room. And she was like, ask your mom how I used to get onto her about cleaning her room. And
Turtle.
And he goes, what? And she goes, you can go in there and clean it. When you're done, if I have to go in there and clean anything, whatever I pick up and clean is going in the trash. I don't care if I bought it today, 5 minutes ago, or last week, or 2 years ago. It's going in the trash. That's your fault because you didn't pick it up. So go in there and clean it. So he goes in there and clean. And then he comes back in and she's like, are you done? And he goes, yeah. And I go, are you really done? I said, because that counts under the bed. And she goes, oh, yeah. She goes, I don't do under the bed. You better clean under the bed.
Turtle.
He goes, in your closet? And she goes, definitely the closet. She's just going at it. And he goes, I think I need to double check. And he goes, I think that's a good idea. But sure, he did clean it to good enough for her. I was surprised. But, she's not us. She's not in the house all the time. So.
Yeah.
And he does not like it when you take his stuff, his toys and stuff. So I'm not surprised that he didn't want it thrown away.
Yeah, I that's what I threaten most.
Yeah.
I'm like, the most recent toy or whatever you're playing with currently, if you don't go pick it up, I'm just going to take it away. Mm-hmm. I won't give it to some other kid.
Yep.
That's what I tell my kids. I want to give it to some other kid. You're not getting it back.
I literally have I literally have looked at them and been like, I am so over him not wanting to clean his room out. Clean his room up. I'm going to go up there and slowly at a time take this toy and that toy and this toy and that toy. And I said, and eventually we're going to get down to a point where I've thrown so many toys away, he's going to start realizing when toys are disappearing.
Right.
Because if you're just going to leave them out, it must not be that important to take care of it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what I'd been thinking too. I'm like, every time I see something on the floor, I'm just going to take one toy.
Yep. Just one.
It might be small.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Just one
toy. I'm like, I got 365 days till Christmas. One toy. And a birthday.
Yep.
One toy.
Yep. Goodwill's going to be looking good in town.
Yeah. I do think it's funny, though, that, and I understand because age difference between the 3 of us. But, your kid is 10.
Yep.
You've got a teenager. And then I've got littles.
12.
I thought you said they were 13. I thought you said one was 13.
No, Aubrey's 12.
Okay, Aubrey's 12. Gotcha.
The other person's kid.
Yes.
That's right.
At church.
Yes, I swap those.
Yeah.
Yes.
We don't need to get into that story.
No. That is for a different podcast.
Yep.
Although we are explicit. That's what our label says.
Yeah.
But that could be its own episode where people can choose not to listen to that.
Right. This episode is going to be like, this one is 100% explicit.
100%. No children.
No children.
Warning label.
Well,
Yeah.
all of our podcasts have been pretty good.
Yeah, not too horrible.
Yeah, we want it to be relaxed, but also free to have
Yeah.
grown-up discussions.
Yeah.
With grown-up language.
In grown-up language, yeah. Because when I get excited, I start cussing a lot, and I don't want to change that.
But-
I actually got in trouble at Thanksgiving for cussing in front of the kids. And so my uncle goes, "Hey, Sarah, can you, like, calm that down?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I got you." Because they were playing, like, football. They, like, cleaned it up and playing football because it was really cold Thanksgiving. So then it's like I continue. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Not 5 minutes later, I hear my cousin, "Sarah, Jesus Christ, like, chill it." And I go, and she goes, "Cussing." And I said, "Thanks for the reminder." Like, I don't even remember what I was talking about, but I was going at it. Like, and I said, "Oops."
Someone pushed a button.
I think I was just talking about just some drama. You know what I mean? Like, funny. I remember laughing, but, like, the way I was talking about it, I was cussing a lot. And I was like, "Oopsies. You guys are right." Well, and, like, my uncle's side of the family is pretty religious. Like, they participate in, like, church and stuff, and they're big on, like, not cussing and stuff, where I'm like, yeah, I cuss in front of my kid all the time because they're going to go to school, and when they're not in front of you, I promise you they're cussing, and their buddy is cussing, and they think it's cool. But I understand.
Unless they were weird like me, then.
Or me.
Nope, I was cussing. I can't relate.
I didn't really start cussing until I came to...
Turtle.
I cussed a lot in 8th grade. But then after that, I was like it just didn't feel natural. It didn't, you know, it had nothing to do with spirituality or religion or anything.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, obviously my parents were like, you know, they didn't want me to, but, you know, it's just never something I really felt comfortable.
I was never horrible. I got worse and worse the older I got. Like, obviously today I'm much worse than what I was in high school. Like, it was just every once in a while, not around my parents when I was a kid, because I would get the hey.
It was partly religious for me, and also partly that was my rebellion. Was I wasn't going to be like my siblings or, you know, mom and dad. So
Yeah.
You wanted to be better.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what, like, a lot of people talk about drinking in school or smoking in school, and I'm like, can't relate.
Yeah, I can't.
I didn't have family members that did either one, you know what I mean? And then with my mom, like, she just had me against any drug in the entire world just with what we were going through at home. So it was like, you're dumb. Like, that's the only thing I can think of. Like, you're literally dumb. And then, like, alcohol, you can literally freaking kill yourself, dude. Like, you do not know your limits, and you can, like, yeah, I was mean when it came to that kind of shit, like, in school. Like, I was very judgmental.
I was like 30, and my parents were like, "For your birthday, I want to have like a beer with you."
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No.
No.
I didn't start drinking until I was like 33, something like that.
Yeah. See, you got me beat. I was 20 I think I was 23, and I think I was 22. I was married, but I don't know if I was actually married yet. It was the same partner.
I always forget you were married once.
Yeah.
I think I was 30, but 30 when I had like my first alcoholic beverage.
Yeah.
I think I was 30.
I was 19. No, that's not me.
That's definitely true. You had Wendy's. I don't remember what you said you had.
Yeah, I had Wendy's.
You had Wendy's. I had Wendy's.
I had that celery.
That was healthy. Your body ate right through
more
that.
carbs than you digested that.
There was peanut butter on them.
Oh, okay, well.
It does. Peanut butter has fats. It would slow it down.
But yeah, like, my dad's side, absolutely no drinking. Well, they would have a beer after the kids go to bed, apparently. Found that out when I was older. And then my mom, she would have friends over and whatnot, and they'd have special drinks, is what they'd call them. And she didn't realize this, but apparently, at the time I was like 18, my first alcoholic drink, she's like, oh yeah, you can try it, thinking I'm not going to like it. It was like red wine. And I drink it. I'm like, oh, that's good. And I finish her cup.
She's like, oops.
It's like, can I have some more?
That's funny.
No.
The first thing I ever drank was a wine cooler, and I'm pretty sure it's Smirnoff. No, it's that Who's Your Daddy root beer. You know what I'm talking about? The alcoholic root beer or whatever.
It's Not Your Father's root beer.
Yeah. That's the first thing she ever.
Sweet.
That's the first thing she ever had me try because I knew I wasn't gonna like the taste of alcohol, and I tried it and I said that shit is disgusting. If alcohol tastes like that, I don't want any more.
I think that was my first actual whole drink too.
Oh yeah.
Was exactly that, the Not Your Father's root beer or whatever.
It's freaking gross.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it since then. I might have a different
beer was when I was 20, and it was just a Heineken.
Ooh.
Yeah, it wasn't even I was just hanging out with my friends. They were all older than I was, and they're like, yeah, all right, but you're not allowed to drive until 2 hours later after having this, because they were all churchgoers.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
they were being safe.
They're just I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll drink. I'm like, oh, that's awful. I still finished it, but I'm not having a second one.
Yeah, no. And then like I said, I think I had a Smirnoff after that, and those weren't bad, but it took me a long time to drink it because I still thought it was gross. And I was like, you know what, drinking is not for me. And then I got a divorce. By time I finally asked her for a divorce, I was already into whiskey. So I don't know what happened between then, besides starting
Turtle.
but by the time I asked for the night I asked for a divorce, I took 2 shots in the kitchen before I even went to the bedroom, and she caught me. She's like, what are you doing? And I said, I'll be there in a second. Took 2 shots and then went in there and had that conversation. But yeah, I was drinking whiskey less than a year later, so obviously didn't dislike it enough to not do it.
I can relate with that.
Yeah.
Just bad experience with a particular person drives you to the whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only you tend to, not eat for 3 days.
I don't do it anymore.
Be on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
It's very effective.
Yeah, I imagine.
My experience was a little different, though. My relationship was not like yours. I just got to a point where she deserved a lot better than what I was giving her because I was not in love with her, and she deserved a lot better than that. And I was gaining feelings for somebody else and also knew that was not okay. So I was asking for the divorce for her because she deserved better than what I was giving her 100%. She deserved somebody that loved her truly. So mine was for courage because I was not good at having conversations, especially emotional ones.
I think when I was 20. I wasn't 21, but I'd only been
Turtle.
for about a year, and we went on July shutdown, and I don't know what I was thinking, but I decided I'm going to go with the guys I work with, and we're all going to go to Myrtle Beach for July shutdown. Okay, sure, And it was a terrible time, but the hotel we were staying at had a bar below it.
Yeah.
And it was right on the beach. But one of the guys, he got to know the bartender, who actually ended up being from
Turtle.
which is weird.
Yeah.
And so I come into this bar, right? And if you thought I look young now, I definitely look like I was 12
like a 12-year-old
then.
walking in?
Yeah. I was just and the guy knew. I'm I'm too young to drink, but I'll order your food, And so, that was acceptable, I guess. But I still sat at the bar. And then it was closing time. Nobody else was in there but me and the people that I came with. And he's like, I'm going to pour these shots here. And it was it tastes like Cinnamon Toast Crunch or something like that is what it was. He's like, and I'm going to go into the back room and I'm going to take a shot myself. And I don't care who drinks it as long as these are gone by the time I get back.
Yeah.
So that was the first time that I actually had whiskey.
Yeah.
And it was good.
Yeah.
But then after that, I didn't drink until I was 29. So last year. And that was because in between that time I had taken a oath with the church I was with, because I was dealing with teens who came from bad homes and stuff like that. And so obviously if you're a leader, you can't be like, yeah, I'm drinking over here, but it's not okay for mom and dad to do it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I had taken that oath, and that's why
Turtle.
it's like, no way, this guy drinks. No way. Like, so, yeah.
That's funny.
And my first drink after, it was probably, 6 years, give or take, it was bourbon. I was like, if I'm going to get back into this, I'm going class.
Yeah.
So I'm going bourbon.
That's how my brother got into drinking, was the nicer things.
Yeah.
He told me, he's like, my one goal, and I don't even know if this is his Christmas goal or something he wants to do soon, but he was like, I want to go and have a beer with Dad. Because my dad doesn't drink, right? And he's the first person I'll tell you that beer is disgusting. He was like, I like beer when it's ice cold, and the second it starts warming up, I don't want it anymore. So he told me last time, I don't know if it was when I was online talking to him or when he was here for Thanksgiving, but he was like, my goal is to sit down and have a beer with Dad. Or he might have said drink, but I know the only thing my dad would drink was a beer. Like, he's not going to do liquor or anything like that. And I was like, okay, like, I'm here for it. Like, whatever. Like, I've never drank with Dad either, but Dad also doesn't drink. So he'll probably sit down for one and take a couple drinks out of it and just talk the rest of the time. But
It was like when I was in college, I got into a lot of arguments or debates with friends and fellow classmates over drinking.
yeah.
Like, I was 100% against it. And I still feel the same way. Like, if you are in a leadership position in a church, you should not be doing that.
Yeah.
But that also goes along with guidelines given to us in Scripture. Like, if you're in this position, you should not be doing this.
Yeah.
And so I debated with all my friends. Everyone just hated me. But, yeah. And then, here I am later, working in a factory, and like, oh, it's fine.
It's fine.
Working in a
Yes,
factory,
but-
drinking it on an empty
But
stomach.
you're not really in a position of leadership.
No.
Yeah, so it's fine. But
You're not being a hypocrite to that extent.
And when you do drink, like, I assume you don't do it in front of your kids.
no.
So, like, it's not like they're
Yeah.
going to notice that habit.
Nope.
If anything, they probably notice it at the other place.
Yep. And even if they like if they know we had, like, we went somewhere or done something, they're like, you drank alcohol? Yeah, it's okay sometimes. It's fine.
Our kid's the same way. He's like, is that alcoholic? And we're like, what are you talking about? He's like, is that an adult drink?
Yeah.
You shouldn't be drinking that. Yesterday, I
Turtle.
had an old one from Saturday where we went to our Friendsgiving. Sitting on the like, literally, I don't even know why she still had the bottle in it, but she had one in the bottle inside this bottle koozie. And for some reason, it was sitting on the counter, and he brings it out like stomping, like with an attitude, and he goes, "This is sitting out in the counter. Is this an adult drink? I am throwing this away." And I said, "At least take the cozy off."
As of right now, I think all I have is some, like, peach-flavored rum. That's about it.
Peach schnapps is very, very good, though.
Yeah.
Turtle.
Making just mixed drink. I understand. I know you have an update. Leave me alone. But that was back when before the guys group, because I had quit drinking for that. So, and now I'm not. My shelves are empty. I got to restock. No.
Yeah, we don't keep alcohol in the house.
Yeah.
That's why I'm surprised that empty. It was literally an empty bottle. It was just sitting. I'm like, how did they even get there? And she's like, I have no idea. But he was so sassy about it because we don't keep alcohol in the house. But it also doesn't help that, like,
Turtle.
they'll come in and, like, look for that, and then if you have it out reachable by the kid, like, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So we just don't keep it in the house.
Yeah. It was his.
That's his root beer. I don't know.
My experience, though, it was like there's no food in the house, but parents kept the refrigerator stocked
of alcohol.
24/7.
For that call.
Yep.
Golly.
Nope.
Crazy.
Yeah, no, my parents didn't do any of that, so.
Yeah, my parents kept all their stuff in the garage if there were alcohol in that fridge. And us kids never went out there unless if we were getting a pop or something. You know? So, but growing up, my parents were strict. They were like, have to have caffeine-free pop. You know, when they got married, they made us sign a contract. Granted, I'm the oldest, and I was 12.
Yeah.
They made us sign a contract after they got married and said, if you want to play video games, you can only play video games for an hour during the school day. But it has to be broken up into a half-hour time. So you can only do it for 30 minutes at a time. And you have to read for that same amount of time that you're going to play. But they posted that up on a wall in a picture frame for everybody to see when they came into the house, all our signatures and if all the rules and guidelines for the house. I'm like, oh my goodness, that went out the window the second I graduated.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? You get rid of it after I'm gone?
Yeah.
Like, we couldn't have our phones or anything, like anything electronic. You couldn't be on it unless if you read. And I'm like,
Crazy.
yeah. And I graduate, and they're like, well, everybody's got a phone now. Everybody's got an iPad now. That's what they do at school. Like, we can't control it now. I'm like, really? You were like 100% stricter.
Yeah.
Could have at least made it an hour increment so I could actually do something in it.
Yeah.
Right.
I know. I was just thinking about that. I'm like, well, good thing everything back then was like story mode.
Yeah.
And you could just pause it.
We had memory cards for all you kids who don't know what that is.
Yeah, memory. The red PlayStation memory card, the blue,
The blue and
the different
red.
colors.
Game Sharks. Y'all remember Game Sharks?
Yeah.
We were cool. That's how I got all the legendaries in Pokemon without having to do anything.
Yep.
You both looked at me at the exact same time. That was very freaky.
You said all right.
All right. Well, I said all right, then I went, and then both of you were like I'm going to end this. All right, folks. Well, that was our first episode of our Hangout time. We hope you enjoyed this episode. And remember, you are loved.
Always be kind.
Yeah, keep trying.
All right, guys. See you next time.
Bye.